Hey, Gemini, intuitive soul coach here with your August 2023 love and family reading. Welcome back to my channel if you are returning, and welcome if you are new. These are general readings, so please take what resonates and leave the rest behind. If you are interested in a personal reading or entering into the free monthly reading giveaway, you can find both of those links in the description box below. All right, so Gemini, right away here, I'm getting this message loud and clear about letting the past go. There's something here about not reliving a past situation or an experience that you've had that may have been painful. There could be some bitterness, some shame, some difficulties that you've had a difficult time letting go of, but I'm getting here, leave the past in the past. So that may be a very important message for a few of you. Now, in the recent past position, you do have the inner child. When the inner child card shows up in love and family, this can be childhood wounding. It can be that you've been in a relationship or currently are in a situation where someone's inner child may feel neglected. It may feel wounded. What it's missing is those magical parts, the laughter, the innocence, the happiness, the fun, the joy, the magic, the enthusiasm for connection and for partnership. And this could be something that may have been missing. Now, I'm getting a lot of energy from this card here. Now, there could have been sibling rivalry. There could have been difficulties when it comes to some family drama. I am getting here siblings taking sides. So perhaps if there is three of you, there could have been two that took some sort of a side, and maybe you felt left out or singled out, and it made you feel a little bit neglected. For others of you, you are dealing with children, maybe of your own, someone else's children. That could have been a struggle here for you. But the biggest energy I feel is someone needs to reconnect, at least in the recent past. This could be something you've been working with, is reconnecting with that inner child, loving yourself unconditionally, even though you may not have received that unconditional love when you were younger. Okay, because I am getting here whether it was a family member, someone who is supposed to love you and take care of you and nurture you. So typically it is a mother or a father. And when those needs are not met, it can leave some wounds within that inner child. And I feel like you just want to connect on a deeper level with people, whether it's friends, whether it's intimate relationships. It could be relationships with your own children, with your own family members. So you want to have a little bit of fun and enjoy the magic that's all around. Now, for another percentage of you, there could have been a family gathering. I'm getting here baptism. There could have been a baptism for a family member. Some of you may have celebrated in the recent past a child's birthday as well. Okay, so Gemini, this is about you taking a look at some of the things within and bringing them to the surface so you can heal them and move on. So you can leave the past in the past and not continue bringing up or feeling triggered or feeling wounded and it affecting and interfering with your everyday relationships, including the most important relationship, Gemini, which is the one you have with yourself. Because I feel I'm getting a tug of war here. They're showing me there is a tug of war card in this deck. And so I feel like some of you have went back and forth with possibly someone that you care about very deeply, but it feels stressful. And some of you may have some decisions to make here in the near future, because this can be conflict. And this can be finding solutions to this conflict. And there's that word triggers, which I just did a reading over the weekend on triggers. So if you have a difficult time dealing with your own, you may want to check out that collective reading. I'll link it in the description box below. There could have been adversity. If you are single, it may feel like you are coming up against brick walls here when you just want to go out and have fun. Let your inner child shine, right? Go out there and play and maybe date and connect with others. But there's some sort of brick wall that I feel like you're hitting here. Okay, because there could be too much out there, too much competition, saturation, just not finding what it is that you want, opposing views. That's a big thing. I see that all the time where there's just not enough common ground. There's not enough hobbies or interests to hold the attention because we have impulsivity that feels like it's taking over, right? Even when we're having a conversation with someone and they're actually giving me this, so some of you may struggle in your own lives. Someone sitting across from you wanting to have a heart to heart. This could be you or that person, but someone's too distracted by maybe their phone or distracted by something else instead of focusing their attention on you. I am getting here distractions showing up. Now, Gemini, in the present energy here of August, you do have hobby. So if you are currently in a relationship or whether you are or not, this is about you reconnecting to things that bring you happiness. And you can even go back to what made you happy when you were a child. Now, it doesn't mean that you have to start a band. Maybe you always wanted to start a rock band. You certainly could, right? But I feel like it's about dreaming again, wishing again, and, taking things not so seriously, Gemini, because there is a seriousness about your reading. There's a little bit of heaviness as well. So some of you feel a little bit heavier on the heart. For others of you, I feel like it's important to focus on things that, again, are creative, that are fun, that are passionate. I'm also sensing someone may have either written you a song or sent you a song. You could have been split up from a person, or maybe you're together with someone, but a song brought back a trigger or a memory of the past. And if they sent you a song, there could be something that they are trying to express to you through words that they are not able to say, and they're able to express through music is what I'm picking up on. Some of you may have been with someone who was a musician or an artist of some kind. This can be about focusing on, again, things that you really enjoy, because some of you, you're in your head a little bit. Gemini, you are an air sign after all, but I feel it's important for you to focus on the things that are magical in your world, right? Are joyful, are creative. Focus on the happiness and the celebratory energy, not, the past. And that was the message that came up even before your cards. Now, in the near future, you have the Strength card, and I'm getting here full body goosebumps. There is something here about you being stronger than you think you are, Gemini. This is about perseverance, personal power, overcoming obstacles. Some of you are mastering your craft by working out, getting into shape. There could be something here with fitness. Now, if some of you did deal with a separation or a breakup, I feel like you're starting to feel better about yourself. You're starting to regain your confidence. For others of you, if you have gone through some inner childhood wounding and struggles, I do feel like you're going to master some of those triggers and some of those battles that you have been struggling with here in the past. Regardless of what it is that you are going through, Gemini, you are stronger than you think. And this is also Strength card in tarot is card 8. And I just said 8 and it said 0808 on the clock. So there's a lot of 8 energy in your reading. So it wouldn't surprise me to see some 8s showing up, but that is about power, authority, strength, materialism, control, speed. So these things are going to happen and show up for you in a big, powerful way. So August, there's a lot going on here, Gemini, but let's dive into your reading. What is the heart of the matter? What's the heart of the matter for Gemini in the month of August, please? Okay, thank you, Spirit. They're giving me, there could be someone around you with, this is random. It could be anything or anyone's name, but they're giving me 3 syllables. So for example, my name, Melissa. There could be someone that has 3 syllables. And typically, I would say most names, right? Most names have 1 or 2 syllables. So there's someone around you that may have 3 syllables in their name, or that could be you as well. So heart of the matter here, Page of Swords. There you are, showing up, baby steps, right? Inner child. This is about you going back to the drawing board and saying, okay, what do I need to do to change or shift this situation? Page of Swords can be like the private investigator, the little genius, right? The one that wants to discover, wants to search for new ways of doing things. They want to think strategically as well. And if they don't have the information, they go and search for it. There could have been some sort of news here, Gemini, that maybe you were aware of. There could have been something that you seen, something that you heard, or something that was brought up that you're taking a deep dive into. And I feel like you are really assessing a situation. You're not just thinking inside the box. You're reading between the lines. And I feel like you're getting to the nitty gritty here. And that may be what you need to do in order to move forward. So if there was a situation that caused you to really need to be strong about the situation, I feel like details are your friend here. Okay, details are your friend. And regardless of how challenging those details may be at times, whether it's details of your past, your wounding, a relationship, a struggle that you've had with a parent or with, a friend, I feel like you're looking at it and you're saying, well, what can I do to now grow and learn so I don't repeat that in the future? So really powerful energy. Even though the page, it can also be about a child in your life as well. Some of you may be struggling with your own children or someone younger than you. Someone may they may disconnect because they don't know enough about you, or you may have different lifestyles as well. I'm getting here that someone doesn't want to put in the energy to get to know you or to get to the root of the problem. So please take that as it resonates to your story here. So some of you may want to put in the effort. I almost feel like a complete split here, which makes sense because you have the left and the right hemisphere. But 50% of you may want to get down to the nitty gritty details so something doesn't happen. And then another 50% of you may be dealing with people who just, they don't want to put in the effort, but you are willing to do so, and you will attract what you are putting out there. So let's take a look here. What's the challenge for Gemini in the month of August? What's the challenge, and how can we help Gemini overcome the challenge? Okay, so we're going to take a look at the challenge is the world, some sort of ending, some sort of completion here. But I do sense, because it is showing up in reverse, someone either doesn't want an ending, there is not closure to this ending, or you feel stuck or set back. Because the World card is about feeling there's some sort of completion, but you feel hollow about it. Okay, something may have come to an end, but it doesn't sit right with you, Gemini. And I feel like there is some strength here required for you in order to move on. But you have everything you need within. Reach out to people this month. Connect with friends, with trusted individuals, with professionals if you need to. If you need to put something out in the open, because again, like I said, let the past go. And it's interesting that the world is showing up as your challenge, because that world is about completing a major cycle in your world. This could even be something that you've gone through for the last 20 years. Sometimes the World card can bring in a 20-year cycle. For others of you, you are concluding this chapter in order for you to go in a brand new direction, but you need to release or let something go and to focus on bringing that magic and that joy. And that could be why something needs to come to an end, because you were losing and missing that magic, right? There's something here that just wasn't happy or wasn't enthusiastic anymore. And you may still at times feel a little bit of that hope, right? I hope that this family member, I hope that this lover would connect, or I hope that they would change. But what you're realizing is that the only thing you can change is your response and the way you deal with things. And that may be why you're really in your head here, Gemini, because you're thinking, well, what can I do to avoid some sort of ending, or what can I do to conclude this chapter of my life? So really powerful. Whew. What's below you? What's in the deep past? You have the Justice. Now, some of you Geminis may be dealing with a Libra. This is about a fair judgment, but there was something that was unfair, something you weren't able to see. Red flags, right? She's holding a red flag there. And I do feel for you, Gemini, you're taking a look at those red flags and you are no longer blinded by a situation. Now you're going back to the drawing board and you're saying, okay, what are those red flags in this union or this relationship or the way that this person was treating me. Some of you, you may have found out a truth that may have felt very, very unsettling. The Justice card is all about karma. I feel for a lot of you, and whew, look at these goosebumps, there could be a karmic cycle that is wrapping up or coming to an end, because Justice can be the card of karma. It can be the card of legality. Some of you have dealt with maybe a divorce or some sort of judgment in the deep, deep past. Some of you may have, even though this isn't the judgment card in itself, it does represent judgment. And I feel a lot of you Geminis, you felt judged. You felt judged and there were red flags, and maybe you put a blind eye or turned a blind eye to them, or this was someone that you were dealing with. But the Justice card here is about truth, equality, and bringing more balance to a situation. And that's why the cycle needs to end. Now, what's going on here in the recent past? What's showing up for Gemini in the recent past, please? Whew. I'm getting the name Carrie or K, excuse me, it could be K or it could be C, and it could be A or O. So Corey, Carrie, please take that as it resonates. We have the King of Coins. The sense of security within a relationship was weakened or stolen or lost, because when the King of Coins shows up in reverse, this can be about seeking that status, right? It can be about materialism. It can be about securing a life with those that you love that feels good, but something, again, I'm getting the word unsettling. Now, some of you, you may have been with someone who was a workaholic as well. King of Coins, someone who's always chasing after that shiny penny. And I feel here that that may have been a factor in a relationship for others of you. You may have been with someone, or maybe you yourself, there could have been a crossing of lines at work is what I sense as well. Whether it crossed all the way or it started to cross, please take that as it resonates. And that may have broken down a situation here for you to really examine and really explore. But the King of Coins in the past is something that you thought was going to grow and reach that level of status here for you in the physical world. Something had crashed or crumbled, and it left you feeling like you didn't have the security or the strength or the abundance that you would have had if you would have seen things in a new light with the Page of Swords. So let's take a look at what's in your headspace, Gemini. What are you thinking at this time? What's going on within that beautiful, brilliant Gemini mind of yours? What do we have for Gemini right away? Your cards are really wanting to talk. I'm getting that some of you could be feeling a little bit miscued because of emotions. And sometimes when our emotions are overruling us, we don't always make the decisions that we would make if we took a step back. So that could be something that you're finally getting clarity on. You're able to do now is to make some decisions because you're thinking not just with the feels, right? But you're thinking rationally and logically as well. The Empress. Whoa. Gemini, some of you, you may be pregnant, right? This could be about you having children with someone, with the inner child showing up here. But for the majority of you, the Empress is about nurturing yourself, nurturing a relationship, or putting the energy into something that you want to grow. Okay, whatever that is, just take a moment, just pause, close your eyes, put your hands on your heart. And I want you to truly go beyond the surface, beyond the pain, beyond the hurt, beyond the rejection, beyond the abandonment. And say, what is it that I'm truly being called to nurture and take a deeper look at this time? Because this Empress here, she's the most abundant energy in tarot. Whatever she puts that focus on grows. Whatever she plants in her garden is abundant if she continues to put in that energy. Now, for some of you, even though this is not showing up in reverse, I am getting here, some of you may have in the past smothered or neglected. Neglection. Thank you, Spirit. They're giving me neglected. Some of you may have felt like you've smothered a person or your own child at times. Not smothered, smothered with overbearing, right? Overbearing, being, watching over the shoulder, not letting someone have space or room to breathe, or maybe you felt that way. But I'm getting the word here more so of neglecting. Some of you may have felt neglected from a relationship, or someone may have neglected you because they were working here. Please take that as it resonates. Let's get to the near future. What is coming in here for you in the near future? Okay, thank you, Spirit. I'm getting also a couple more messages from the Empress. Someone may have broke down in a relationship because maybe someone wanted children and someone did not, or there could have been a blended family and children were a big factor. Whether the factor was negative or positive, that may be something that's on your mind here when it comes to some sort of ending or closure as well, because you do have children showing up here in your reading. Whether it's someone's inner child or an actual physical child, I feel like that is important in some way. Let's get to what's coming in the near future for Gemini. Okay, wow. Two of Wands. We're going to take this. I don't think we'll probably need any more for your reading, but we're going to take the rest. Oh, wow. We have literally all your cards out here. Okay, so Two of Wands is what's showing up here. This is about choosing, right? Choosing a new path, choosing a new doorway. Which path do I choose? Which one can I take to move forward instead of feeling stuck or instead of holding back? Because there is a decision that needs to be made here, Gemini. Which door will you walk through? Because even making no decision at all is a decision, and that in itself can hold you back. But I sense that it's important for you to choose because, like we said here, the justice in the past is about you being able to see red flags, and some of you are able to see red flags more clearly than you were in the past. And the Two of Wands is saying, what can I do to move forward outside of the trigger, outside of a situation, or how can I plan this new beginning that I want and have the closure, have the completion, not repeat a karmic cycle. So there's some planning going on here within your energy. And the Two of Wands also is about your vision, right? Where do you see yourself? What is it? And we just talked about that a little bit when I had you close your eyes and put your hand on your heart. What is it that you want to nurture? Go with that, follow that, because there's something here that may feel, in a sense, even though I don't even see any cards at this point that are completely disastrous, right? We don't see a Tower, a Three of Swords, or a Ten of Swords. It's mostly some mental or internal struggles that you're dealing with. And if I'm really, really tuning in here, which I feel like I am, I feel like a lot of this is you, Gemini. It's some of your own inner childhood wounding. And you may be taking a look at a situation and saying, well, what can I do to do things differently, regardless of your relationship status? Because you're releasing some sort of sense of control that you thought or needed to have over a situation. Now, how you are feeling is the Nine of Wands. You're wore out. Right? You're wore out. You are the warrior here, but there is something here that you feel drained. You feel defeated. You feel like you want to end a cycle here. I don't want to spoil it here, but I will tell you with your final outcome, you are moving forward. I can't see behind this Ten of Wands. That's part of your outcome is the Ten of Wands here, but you are taking a step. So you have the strength. You have it here. You are stronger than you think you are, Gemini. This is about perseverance when it comes to love, when it comes to family, when it comes to struggles, disappointment, setbacks, right? Nine of Wands is the one that does have that final push, that determination to find that motivation. You have the spiritual strength, the courage, the discipline to not give up. And I see that you're not going to give up on something here because there is some sort of completion. However that shows up for you, there is a cycle that is coming to an end. And I feel like you're not going to go back. And that may be why that energy was coming in loud and clear of leaving the past behind you. All right, what's going on in your environment? Okay, we have here Four of Cups and Three of Coins. Three of Coins is in reverse. So this is very important. If there's been a lesson that's unlearned, you're going to continue to repeat it. Okay, you're going to continue to repeat it. I sense that you don't want to do that. Why? How? Because in your hopes and fears, your intuition is telling you. This is saying here, don't silence what your soul, what your intuition, what your higher self is telling you. And your higher self is telling you, Gemini, that you've learned the lesson here. You don't need to repeat it. So whether that is moving on or whether it is doing something in a new way, because your other card here is the Four of Cups. So this can be feeling like you've wasted your time and energy and effort on something that just kept going round and round. Right? You possibly feel like you've poured out these cups and now you don't even know what to do because they're all spilled in front of you, right? There could be regret here. Someone may have been arrogant in the past and someone may be thinking about their arrogance or thinking about how they've affected a relationship or a situation. I sense that someone does want to build a new foundation, but they have to come to the realization of the role that they played so they don't keep repeating the same cycle. Okay, very powerful. Wow, Gemini, this is a deep month for you. This is actually a deep month for the entire world, I will say, on a collective level. August is really an eye-opening month when it comes to relationships, when it comes to the heart, when it comes to love. So you may want to check out the readings for, your loved one. You may want to check out your moon sign, your rising sign, because they're really deep and really insightful. Even though you're only the third one, Aries and Taurus were very, very deep as well. So High Priestess, this is in your hopes and fears. Your hope is that you can listen to your intuition, not silence it. Your hope is that you've learned enough in the past to know when a red flag is a red flag, to know when something is being unfair, and to also know that it's 50-50 sometimes. It takes two, right? It takes two to tango. And I feel here that someone may have, again, smothered or neglected, and I'm getting more so neglection here, neglected the role that should be played out in a relationship, right? Their role to the relationship was neglected in some way, form, or fashion. High Priestess, trust your intuition because it's on par right now. But sometimes the emotions get in the way. And some of you are saying, well, Melissa, how do I know it's my emotions? How do I know it's my intuition? Because it can get jumbled. The emotions are a response based on an experience that we've had. Those emotions can be negative. Those can be positive. But our intuition here, that's our soul's knowing. That isn't necessarily, there's not a feeling attached to it. It's what we know on a deeper level. Your final outcome. Final outcome here. So we do have the 10 of Wands. It is showing up in reverse, which is about needing to take responsibility, right? The good news is you are moving from the 9 of Wands to the 10 of Wands. So I feel like someone is starting to own up. Someone is starting to take responsibility, whether it's you, whether it's another person, for the role that they've played, the role that you've played. Again, you start off with the Page of Swords here, Gemini. So there is something that you are discovering within that brilliant mind of yours. There's some sort of pattern, conditioning, limiting beliefs, something that was holding you in this karmic cycle. But what's behind it? Drum roll. 9 of Pentacles. 9 of Pentacles here. I like the 9 of Coins because it talks about prosperous victory. This can be, some readers read this as the singles card, but I read this as the card of creating a life that you love, Gemini, creating a life that you are proud of. One of material wealth and individual success. It can be individual, but what I'm getting here is it's individuality. Even if you are in a relationship, it's important to know that you have boundaries. It's important to let your person do their thing and you do your thing, not have a sense of codependency. Now, that's something some of you may have struggled with, is codependent dynamics. But I feel like you're lifting those burdens, right? I'm really getting that someone is taking responsibility here for the role that they played. And because they're willing to look at something from a new light, whether it's you or another person or many people, right? You're able to finally feel a victory. 9 of Coins is showing up in the upright. This is beautiful. The 9 of Coins is, there's that 9 as well. I thought, did we say something about a 9 here? Or we said 8s. But again, 8, 9. So we're seeing, 9 and then 10. We're seeing progress here. We're seeing steps moving forward. Even if it feels like it's baby steps that we mentioned in the beginning, there will be some sort of victory here for you, Gemini. Absolutely. 9 of Pentacles is about your hard work paying off. right? It's about you feeling comfortable, not dependent on others. It's about you not letting the emotions and the burdens and the responsibilities of others affect you. Even if someone has not accepted their responsibility, I'm kind of getting two energies here. This could be someone around you, and this could be you, where you're saying, you know, even though that person hasn't owned up to their responsibility in this relationship or in this dynamic, whether it's your own children, a parent, a family member, a sibling, a lover, even a friend, right? You're saying, well, that's their journey and their path, and this is mine. And I need to have the victorious win that I seek in my world without letting someone else's energy affect that. So really, I like this ending. It's interesting that you have two cards, because I feel like you are releasing some of those burdens by taking responsibility here for what you can take responsibility for. Now let's take a look and get a message from the Wisdom of the Oracle. In this deck, there's a round and round card, and I do feel like there's some sort of round and round that is coming to an end. Let's take a look. You have a lot of cards wanting to talk. Okay, so we have chaos and conflict showing up here. Some of you may be 33 years old. You may be born on the 3rd or the 6th. The 6 is showing up here, but you also have 31. Some of you may be born on the 31st, or you may be 31 years old, but you're asking yourself the bigger questions. You have the why, and you have the chaos and conflict. So you're asking yourself the questions that you need to at this time, like we mentioned in the very beginning of your reading. So I will read to you both messages here as they both came out, but there is protection messages with these as well. We don't always know why we engage in our relationships in the way we do, mostly because our feelings aren't always logical. Now is the time to recognize whether you are being triggered by someone else, or if your behavior is motivated by unresolved issues in the past. When you ask yourself, why am I feeling like this, and why did I say that, and spend some time in introspection, the answers may be surprising. Listen to the messages from your intuition. Hello, High Priestess. From the deep knowing within you. What does it tell you about yourself and others? In the end, life is all about being loved. Miracles and a deep understanding of your needs and how to get them met are the buried treasures of the why. Uncover them by posing the most powerful question you can ask yourself and your partner today. Why? Wow, this makes complete sense with your reading here. So 33, I will read the relationship message, but Spirit is saying focus on the reversal, the protection. So I will do that for you as well. Now this chaos and conflict, the relationship message is this. Stubbornness is keeping you in a state of opposition. The incessant need to be right will only serve to prolong the conflict that deep down you want to be resolved. This is an opportune moment to learn about your values, your sense of self, and what is really important to you, Gemini. Some things are non-negotiable. If that's true, it's not necessary to fight. Can you find a way through the stormy emotions to higher ground? Soon the air will clear and you will be in a much better place than before, for the storm will have passed, blazing a path for new growth in its wake. Things can become electric and enlightened, always better than before if you use this time constructively. The protection message is this, and this is the one that I'm getting intuitively for you mostly, but definitely take what resonates for you. This is an advantageous time, a moment to restore order and recognize the opportunity for negotiation. Even in the seeming chaos, there is a kind of divine order, a complete resorting of elements. This is powerful. If your intention is to find the best solution for the highest good of all, there is positive news. The timing is perfect. Things are already stirred up, so don't be afraid to jump into the mix. You'll discover everything you need to know about how the situation affects you long term. Be present in the eye of chaos. This moment is valuable. Don't waste it. And you have that energy here. Literally, 4 of Cups, arrogant wastefulness. That's in your energy. Spirit is doubling it down here, doubling it down and saying, don't waste this time, right? Don't think that this is an opportunity for you to pass on by because you're going to repeat a cycle. We don't want to do that, right? You've already learned valuable lessons here. There's something here with you not wasting this opportune moment. So jump in It's time for you to clear away the old debris. Wow, Gemini, if you guys are liking this, please hit that thumbs up button. Now, last but not least, what messages from your soul's truth do you need to know at this time? And I'm actually, they're saying, Melissa, the top card. So I don't even need to shuffle. Okay, well, we're just going to go. I mean, I always shuffle after, but I don't need to shuffle to have a card fly out. So the message for you here, Gemini, on whom am I placing blame right now? A person who blames others has not begun their lesson. A person who blames themselves has begun their lesson. A person who blames no one has finished their lesson. That is an unknown quote. Today's soul action, Gemini, take responsibility. On whom are you placing blame right now? Today, free yourself by releasing all victimhood, blame, and resistance. They don't belong where you are going. Only love and courage live there. Make a choice to do it. Even if you don't feel ready, listen to your heart and you will be led. Whew! Gemini, 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 what do you got going on? Now, some of you, this could be someone placing blame on you as well. Perhaps someone is in the beginning stages. Maybe they are putting blame on you. Maybe they're in that second step, right? Second baby step here of blaming themselves. Or maybe they are finally committing to releasing this and blaming no one. And if that's the case, then their lesson has been complete. That is what I have for you, Gemini. I hope it resonates. If so, please feel free to hit that thumbs up button. It certainly helps get the divine channeled messages out there to those that need it most. If you are interested in a personal reading, you can find that link in the description box below. Thank you so very much. If you haven't already hit that subscribe and bell button, please do so. Lots and lots of love to you, Gemini.